This trip was planned to really test the ZONTES on a more challenging sand riding. Phase 1 of the trip was just standard gravel from Cape Town to Mariesburg. The day started off as a nice overcast day. It looked grim, but it was not too bad. I tried new gravel roads in the area that I've never been on. In Ceres I passed an old fort. I'm not so sure, I always thought these things are on the highlands. I might get rain. The drops are getting more and more now, but fortunately it was just a few. Some of these roads I recognize that I've been on them, but it was quite some time ago. I also passed a massive cement factory near the little town of Riebeek-Wes. A nice vetkoek and some coffee from the flask before I set out again. The animal seems to be in quite a good condition, and boy oh boy, it was me and Gates again. After refueling in Mariesburg, I was now ready for the Zandveld. This is where I picked roads that were off the beaten track, that I've been on before with the 800, but now the little ZONTES had to show his mettle. From the dry wheat fields to the covered vineyards, if there's water, people will farm. Here we cross the Brede River with a railway line next to it. I was now entering the Zandveld. Again, some well looked after cattle. The road meandered all next to the mountain, and suddenly I had to grab, because boy oh boy, that was a sand patch. It was a mixture of gates and beautiful rock formations. The straight road to Redlinghuis. We're now getting into the real Zandveld. Past Redlinghuis, I went due north and then landed on the sandy road I was looking forward to. As it was too risky, actually impossible to ride one-handed in this thick soft sand, I mounted the camera on the helmet and set on my merry way. These smooth tires and 7-inch front wheel is definitely not made for this. It was a constant revving second gear, and you can hear the motor churning away at the bottom, me sliding left and right. And then, just as I thought I've got the hang of this little wheel, oops, I was lying on my side. You can see the front wheel just dig into the sand, and right next there's some very hard packed. That's hidden by the sand. There's just no way you can ride without slipping and sliding. This now carried on for about another 3 to 4 kilometers past the old remote farmhouse. Phase 1 was done. I reached the railway line. I normally turn left here, and about 3 kilometers further there's tar, but this time no, I went right for another 15 kilometers of sandy road next to the railway line. This road was actually not that bad initially, apart from the fact that there were quite a few aardvark holes, and I missed them by just in time. Initially I thought this road is not too bad. On my previous trip with the 800 it was from the opposite direction, and I actually thought it much more sand, but then it's there. The next 4 kilometers was a mixture of fairly deep sand, very soft, and then hard packed gravel again. And the moment I've rested, it was back into the sand, and it was a constant fight with a small little front wheel. And then there was sand, massive sand in the road. I just couldn't get through, and eventually the bike just bogged down. This was actually hilarious. I could get off the bike, walk away without using a side stand. No, nothing. The bike just stood there in the sand. I dug the sand away from the front of both wheels so that at least I could get going again, because this was just too soft. With the revving and screaming motor, I was out and on my merry way again. It's incredible the difference between a 17-inch wide tire and a 21-inch pizza cutter like on the 800. The sand was just pushing me in any direction. And then it was hard packed, and I was through. Thank you very much. Oh no, I was totally misjudged. There was another 3 kilometers of this left before I hit the real gravel ahead. I did this road to conquer the sand with a little ZONTES, and I must say I was actually quite amazed. It did not too bad, but it's definitely not made for this type of sand. The only disadvantage of this model of the ZONTES is that you cannot switch the ABS off, so it was quite daunting going down this hill. And no, there's just no ways I'm going to stop if something do go wrong. Well, I reached the campsite late the afternoon, met all my friends, and we had a very nice barbecue, lots of laughter, and I went to bed early because it was quite tiring fighting this little bike. The next morning I went uphill to the top of the mountain, and then decided to just take all tar back because I did what I wanted to do and there was nothing more to achieve.